There's a huge universe out there. With a lot of galaxies.
For decades, the masses believed platformers were solved, perfected, and permanently locked into a flat two-dimensional mindset. Then in 2007, Nintendo quietly broke the simulation, and Super Mario Galaxy rewrote the physics of imagination itself. This was not just Mario jumping on Goombas again. This was Nintendo asking a dangerous question: what happens when gravity stops obeying expectations? While the masses were still comparing polygon counts and resolution wars, the elite noticed something deeper happening. Mario was no longer running across levels, he was orbiting ideas. Each planetoid was a design thesis, small enough to understand instantly, yet complex enough to reward mastery. You did not learn by reading a tutorial, you learned by falling, rotating, reorienting, and recalibrating your brain in real time. This was Nintendo rejecting the crowded open world trend before it even peaked, choosing instead to create handcrafted micro-universes with absolute mechanical clarity. The result was not chaos, but flow. Super Mario Galaxy introduced a new platforming meta, where movement felt intuitive even when the world physically twisted beneath your feet. That level of trust between designer and player is rare, and it is why this game still feels untouchable. The masses called it creative. The elite understood it was structural genius. Most Mario games treat story as optional flavor. Super Mario Galaxy did something quietly radical. It embedded melancholy into a children's game without ever announcing it. Rosalina's storybook is not loud, it does not interrupt gameplay, and it does not demand attention. It waits patiently for players who slow down. And when you read it, you realize this is a story about loss, cosmic scale, and acceptance, wrapped in soft music and starlight. This is Nintendo trusting emotional intelligence instead of exposition dumps. The observatory is not just a hub world, it is a sanctuary floating between time and space. Each Luma you save is both a mechanic and a metaphor, sacrifice turning into forward momentum. The masses skip the story pages to get back to jumping. The elite absorb the implication that even in a bright universe, everything eventually moves on. That emotional undercurrent is why Super Mario Galaxy lingers longer than nostalgia. It is cheerful, but never shallow. This is not accidental. Nintendo has publicly stated in later interviews that Galaxy was designed to feel vast but lonely, a feeling echoed by its orchestral score. Yes, a full live orchestra, at a time when most games were still looping compressed audio. That decision alone elevated the entire experience into something timeless. Here is where Super Mario Galaxy separates itself from imitators. The game never explains gravity with text boxes, it lets your hands learn before your brain catches up. Every planetoid introduces one idea, one twist, one rule, then gets out of the way. Nintendo respected cognitive load long before it became a design buzzword. Spin mechanics served multiple purposes: attack, recovery, interaction, and rhythm control. Nothing was wasted. The camera, often criticized in older Mario titles, finally felt cooperative instead of combative. It framed the action with intent, not dominance. This is elite design philosophy, reducing friction until mastery feels natural instead of earned through frustration. The masses wanted checkpoints everywhere. The elite appreciated that failure here was information, not punishment. This is why speedrunners still treat Mario Bros. Galaxy as sacred ground. The physics are consistent, readable, and honest. When people say Nintendo polish, this is what they mean, not graphics, but trust. This game respected players enough to let them be confused briefly, knowing clarity would follow. That confidence is rare. Don't follow the crowd. Follow the aura. Super Mario Galaxy understands spectacle without excess. Boss fights are not damage sponges, they are mechanical exams. Each boss reinforces what the galaxy taught you earlier. Gravity flips, weak points rotate, timing replaces brute force. Bowser himself feels less like a villain and more like a cosmic constant, an obstacle woven into the universe. His battles are rhythmic, almost ceremonial. The game balances scale carefully. You feel small in space, but never powerless. This is why Galaxy aged better than many cinematic games from the same era. It never tried to overwhelm with realism, it aimed for clarity and wonder. Recent retrospectives in gaming media still cite Super Mario Galaxy as one of the highest rated games of all time, not because of nostalgia, but because no one has truly surpassed its structural elegance. The masses chase bigger maps. The elite recognize better design. This game does not waste your time, and that is a radical stance even today. In recent years, as games balloon into 100-hour commitments, Super Mario Galaxy feels almost rebellious. It is concise, intentional, and endlessly replayable. Nintendo's decision to re-release it in the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection reignited discussion around its legacy. New players realized this was not just an old classic, it was a design blueprint. Developers still reference Galaxy when discussing level readability, camera cooperation, and player onboarding. Its influence is everywhere, even when uncredited. The meta has shifted toward live services and infinite content loops. Galaxy stands apart as a complete statement. The masses ask how long a game lasts. The elite ask how well it uses their time. Super Mario Galaxy answers that question with confidence. Don't follow the crowd. Follow the aura. Super Mario Galaxy did not just redefine Mario, it redefined trust between player and designer. It assumed curiosity, rewarded patience, and never talked down to its audience. Its gravity mechanics remain unmatched in elegance. Its music remains emotionally resonant. Its pacing remains disciplined. This is not just a great platformer. It is a lesson in restraint, creativity, and respect for the medium. The masses remember it fondly. The elite understand why it still dominates conversations nearly 2 decades later. In a noisy industry chasing trends, Super Mario Galaxy remains a quiet constant, orbiting above the chaos. Don't follow the crowd. Follow the aura.